The last few weeks have absolutely been derailed by my Sony problem. This clip was filmed before I shipped it off. I do not have it right now. It's still being repaired. But in those last 2 weeks, I've had 3 to 4 jobs, and I'm putting them all in this video. It's going to be a long vlog and kind of showing how my freelance business side has been moving while I've been one camera down.
Kind of like I'm almost thinking like a candid type or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Have baked in color, or would you like a log profile?
I would say for the most part, baked in.
Yep. Huge thank you to Adam for letting me use his FX3 Cineback setup. If you look at the DJI mic receiver, you can see the red box. That is me learning a lesson. So we are internally recording with that stick mic. Even though it says Rode on there, there is a DJI Mic 2 hidden inside that foam. Very simple corporate interview setup. The only variable was having 2 guests at a time, which that was mentioned to me beforehand. And I get to use a new lens. So this is also Adam's, the Sigma 28 to 105 2.8 all the way through. Seems like a great run and gun option. I wish I had some more time with it, and I wish I got to use more than basically 28 to 32 in the focal range. We had our fenced off, stanchioned off area, but it was extremely tight and compact. So you can see the multi-boom setup. As for lights, I am using the 300C as my key, and then a fantastic YouTube comment recommendation was that small rig softbox. I'm gonna get into this new kit, but I have completely rehauled my gear to specifically fulfill the needs of someone hiring a documentary DP as a one-man band or just as a single member. So there is going to be a following video where I'm going to break down every single thing that I bought, that I switched out. But here's just a little sneak peek of some of the things that I have, and I'm really excited to talk about them because they have intentional purposes, not just general purposes. So for example, this is the boom arm that I use when I am performing gigs while traveling through a vehicle, and this one's great. It's from Impact, and it's able to slide into itself, which means faster setup on set and takes up less room, and that is, you know, a difference than when I'm traveling through airline. Now this is an example that all Manfrotto plates are not created equal, so I crank this down as much as I can, and this is Adam's Manfrotto 502. And it just, 1, doesn't even have a lock, and 2, the gripping tolerance is just slightly off, and therefore there is no lock at all. So I had to be very conscious of that. And I don't do a lot of event B-roll stuff anymore, but I literally haven't charged my gimbal in forever. So it was kind of nice just to do something a little different and normal spray and pray event coverage, not grabbing sound, just nats, and thinking how this editor is going to be able to build the montage with the puzzle pieces that I give him. Now, this is the exact type of corporate gig that I like. Full day rate, and it was only 3 hours from load in to load out with a PA, my girlfriend, and just efficiency optimization, like from start to finish. We crushed this, and the client was extremely happy. They took the footage and sent it out immediately, and job done. After a week of being stuck in transit, finally my packages are here. So this is going to be new Sony OEM CF Express Type A cards for the FX6. Over $2,500 worth of purchases. And of course, as soon as this comes in, after waiting, the cards are now on sale. So I need to call B&H and ask them, can you price match? Because I would get back about $600. Hopefully. My buddy Jay was in downtown, and he said, hey, you want to meet up for lunch? And that is just a huge benefit of being downtown. Even though I want to move to a new place and I actually have a spot lined up, It's super convenient to just have all of the pass-through of everybody else and just being located right in the middle, because you get to have cool conversations. In fact, I'm going to link a video at the end that did really well that we created last year. So this was an interesting consultation type of setup. This is job number 2. And they said, this is for my retainer client. They said, we want to have setups for green screen, kitchen, and living room. And we need you to advise us on what gear we need. All the gear is going to stay here. So I kind of felt like an in-person consultation call. And first thing was, this room is too small. This fan is creating a lot of shadows, and it's just not the right spot. I wish they had asked me about painting this before they did, because I could have told them, we need more depth, we need more room. This room is way too small. Once we light up the green screen and then put the person in front of it, I'm already backed up against the wall. There's nowhere to put the camera if you want a full body shot. So instead, my idea is to use this. Way more depth. We're not painting any walls. We're going to use one of those pull-up green screen setups, and I'll be able to light the background, the subject, and have room for the camera. Definitely going to ask them to put curtains on these windows so that I can control spill. But the biggest thing they want is for us to cut down on setup time. So essentially, we walk in, flick the switch, and we begin. So my idea for that is we're going to use 300Xs, and we're going to have 4 of them. And they're going to be on these cupola stands, and then the stands will be on wheels. That stinger at the bottom, that's going to be eliminated, because that takes a lot of time for us to keep moving outlets. Instead, we're going to have a fleet of V-mount batteries that we are going to have on quad bay chargers, and we are going to have 2 batteries on each 300X. I think they take 2 batteries, and we're just going to wheel them out whenever we need them. They're already going to be set up. They're already going to have soft boxes on them, and they're just going to stay there. This is the cupola stand. I really like this clicking function. It really helps for stacking and storage. So this is what I use for myself, and this is what I am going to recommend to them. This is a crazy effort from Eduardo. I've never met him. He's from Mexico City, but was doing a job in Miami and said, do you mind meeting up for lunch? I said, sure. So he took a red-eye bus from Miami, 4 hours to Orlando, and we had to chat, and it was really cool. I recommended that he started his own YouTube channel. I would love to see what the market is like in Mexico City. I think that would be a really cool perspective, and it sounds like it's untapped. So, Eduardo, you have my vote again. I think you should make it. It's just so cool how YouTube can connect people all around the world. You know what else is cool is just getting a random notification saying you got an affiliate payout from Amazon, YouTube, and now B&H. Like, none of them are like massive numbers, but like they keep adding up, and I don't have to do that much. So 1, appreciate everybody who uses those links, and 2, I encourage anybody who's doing YouTube to throw Amazon links in their description. Like, it started with just $15 a month, and I think like it's about like 150, 200 now from all 3 of those. So $600 a month for doing what I'm already doing. I'm just trying to figure out how many more ways there are to keep squeezing stuff out of this social media, because it's super fun for me to do. But if I can like make some income off of it, I will do that. Third job, contracting for a buddy. And I hope you hear how often I say that, because that is how I get most of my work, is through my trusted relationships. It's not just purely putting myself on Production Hub or trying to cold outreach to people. Those are kind of few and far between. Production Hub is a little bit more consistent, but I will get way more callbacks from the people who already know me. So those GoPros that are hanging up on that roof are part of a time lapse. This is a Lego event inside Disney Springs, so a lot of red tape, and the project belongs to my buddy Dalton Smith. So he did 4 days of capture, couldn't be here on the last one, and good for him, good for me. He knows someone in Orlando who could freelance. All right, the testimonials weren't mandatory, but Dalton said if you have time with the builder, who is that guy right there, to try to get some sound from him. So these are just so easy to just clip onto someone's shirt, and he had a collared shirt, so it had a little more structure. And we're learning lessons. We are internally recording now to the actual transmitters, just for safety. And I do think your geographic location is probably one of the biggest factors to your viability in the market. I live in downtown. There is a place that I'm considering moving to, which is about 15 minutes away. I'm checking it out tomorrow at 10 a.m. I'm going to do a walkthrough. It's rental, not purchasing, but the lifestyle of this place could be a massive game changer. And don't get me wrong, I love my downtown apartment. I'd be essentially trading a 9 out of 10 experience for a different 9 out of 10 experience, which is very rare. I'm checking the waves, but you can actually eat these. Or maybe you can't, but I've been eating them for years. And it's a little sweet, and it has a big seed in the middle. These are sour.
He does now. He'll do all the plumbing for that.
I got a really cool inquiry from Esteban asking if I do consultation calls. Of course I do. They're $125 an hour. And he was saying, this is my situation. This is the gear I have. What is wrong? And that's what I love to tackle, because I get to go in and see what exactly are the puzzle pieces that he's working with. How can we use those? And like I said earlier in this vlog, a lot of it has to do with networking. So I was able to share what works for me, what has or has not worked for my colleagues, and then how we can find strategies to find an approach that has a high probable ROI. So I'm looking forward to see how he implements these decisions. And he said, hopefully we'll have a turnaround call in February. And as I promised earlier, going to show some frames. I rarely get to see any of my work, but luckily these commercials that I DP'd for did over 1 million collectively. We did a few of them last year. Shot this with Jay and got some really good feedback from the audience, which is what this client wants. They are trying to do brand awareness. So I'm thinking of doing a new video where I break down these frames. My first time being a commercial DP, I was really happy with what I achieved, or what we achieved as a team. And I have vlogs of every single day of this week-long project. It was a spoof on like medical or erectile dysfunction, pharmacy types of products, but catered towards the camping and RVing crowd. So it was a big hit. And yeah, I think I'm going to do a breakdown, because this was better than I thought I could do. Like I said, I was just one crew member out of many, and had some amazing storyboarding. Jay, the director, you can see him in the blue jacket right there. He did a fantastic job leading this crew. And I think now that I have the finished frames, I can go deeper into it on the next vlog.